Mickey, the producer.
And I've been going lonely. I know you've been feeling lonely. And I've been going lonely. I know you've been feeling lonely. I know you want your own thing. And I've been smoking on strong, babe. I know you ain't been home, babe. I know you've been feeling lonely. I know you want your own thing. And I've been smoking on strong, babe. I know you ain't been home, babe. I know you want your own thing. I know you want your own thing. I'm smoking on strong, babe. All of my money, like Robert De Niro. I'm eating her hair on. Smoking gelato. She know what it be, though. All on the bar, so I'm there with the bimbos. I ride in the Benzos. I ride in gelato. All in the Lambo. I'm worship the famo. She know what it be, though. I'm on the north side. Bitch in the mile wide. Know what it be, though. I know you want your own thing. And I've been smoking on strong, babe. I know you ain't been home, babe. I know you been feeling lonely. I know you want your own thing. And I've been smoking on strong, babe. I know you ain't been home, babe. I know you want your own thing. I know you want your own thing. She hit me on FaceTime. I tell her little bitch why. Tell her little bitch though. I let her go pie though. I let her on Sky though. She know what it be though. I hit her every day though. I've been busy though. Yeah. Bad little bitch in my car though. She a bad little bitch in my car. I tell her little bitch, you know you a slob. I tell her little bitch, looking so good and your son so kiss and your sin look good. You know she from the hood and she all that bad wood. She know what's good and she know. I know you ain't feeling lonely. I know you want your own thing. And I've been smoking on strong, babe. I know you ain't been home, babe. I know you been feeling lonely. I know you want your own thing. And I've been smoking on strong, babe. I know you ain't been home, babe. I know you want your own thing.
Welcome to the check-in report. I am your humble yet gracious host, trueandlivin. I am in the building. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only macaroni. Listen, I went from talking about one Joe to talking about another Joe. Isn't that crazy? From Fat Joe to Joe Biden. What's going on with the Joes? But I saw this article today, and I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. Joe Biden regrets leaving presidential race. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to Bison Bill. Salute to everybody that's in the chat right now. Yeah, Joe Biden, he is regretting leaving the presidential race. I want to know how you guys feel about it. Do you think that he should have? Do you think he should have stayed in the race? In my opinion, I felt like things were looking bleak for him regardless. I think that, the American people have spoken. I don't think that Joe Biden would have done any better than Trump. I really don't. I don't think Joe Biden would have done any better, against Trump, than Kamala did. I don't think that, if Joe Biden would have stayed in the race, it would have been a better fight. I really don't believe that. The writing had been on the wall in my opinion, the writing was on the wall after the debate. After the debate, I felt like everything was over for the Democrats. I felt like the writing was on the wall by that time. But Joe Biden, he came out. He wrote he made statements today where he was talking about how he had regretted. Now, this is by way of the New York Post. Biden regrets leaving presidential race. He thinks he could have beaten Trump. I think that's laughable. President Biden privately regrets dropping out of this year's presidential election. I'm reading the article, and reportedly insists he could have beaten President-elect Trump. Now, I gotta stop right there. Joe Biden didn't have a snowballs in hell's chance to win the election. He just didn't. He didn't have a chance. And we're going to get into some of the reasons why he had no chance on winning this. But the fact that he actually believes that he had some type of chance to win, I think is laughable. We're far away removed from the last election where he won. I think that Biden didn't realize that he won the election based off of two things. He won the election based off of people that really hated Trump, which we've seen these people, and the fumes off of the the Barack Obama presidency. A lot of those people that were in love with Barack Obama, they were so high on him, and they were so elated that they would have the opportunity to get someone that was a part of that administration back in the White House. So by and part, it was those two factors why he won, those years ago. He won because, people were still, elated on the Barack Obama presidency, and people wanted Trump out of it. That's why he won back in 2020. But we're 4 years removed from that. I don't think he would have done better. I truly don't believe he would have done better than Kamala. I don't think. I think it would have been worse if he would have stayed in my opinion. But let me know in the comment section. We got a lot to get to in terms of this story. Biden and some of his aides have boasted to confidants in recent days that the president should have stayed in the race and could have won a second term. This goes back to what I said about delusional liberals. A lot of the liberals are delusional. The Washington Post reported Saturday, citing multiple anonymous sources briefed on the conversations. Biden told The View that he was confident in defeating Trump. Instead, the 82-year-old buckled to pressure by Democrats. We're going to talk a little bit about Nancy Pelosi, Skeletor, Barack Obama, and Kamala, who colluded against him. Kamala, they all, pretty much, did a mutiny against him. Instead of the 82-year-old buckled to pressure by the Democratic Party, it leads to drop out of the race in July. Because of poor poll numbers and the rocky June 27th presidential debate. We're going to get into that as well, in which he gave an incoherent answers and appeared to stumble over a few words. We're going to get into that. The Vice President Kamala Harris replaced Biden on top of the Democratic ticket and was handed defeat by Trump, and and was sworn in. And Trump was sworn in. Trump will be sworn in very soon. Aides say that the president has been careful not to place blame on Harris or her campaign, and the outlet reported. I disagree. I think that the Biden administration should place some blame on the Harris campaign. They should place some blame on her. Listen. They ran a poor campaign. What are we still shielding Kamala for? Why are we still shielding her? The woman ran a poor campaign. That should go without being said, that the woman ran a poor campaign. That should go without being said. She ran a poor campaign, but people are still feeling like, oh, it wasn't her fault, and oh, you can't blame her, and dog, you should be blaming her. She's the reason why the Democrats lost the House. She's the reason why the Democrats lost the Senate. She's the reason why the Democrats have lost. She's the reason. She's the reason why the Democrats lost, and nobody wants to point blame on her. I think that is just more liberal delusion, if you ask me. However, the president admitted during a CBS Sunday morning interview, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi led the charge. See, what have people been saying? Nancy Pelosi led the charge because Dems in the House and Senate were worried that he'll drag down their chances of being reelected. And look what happened. It blew it up in their faces, and they still blew their chances. And in September, he told The View that he was confident he would have defeated Trump in November. Many Democrats blame Harris' loss on Biden's inconsistency not to drop out sooner. Biden ran on the promise that he was going to be a transitional president in an effort to have one term before handing it off to another generation. Senator Richard told that. Now, I think that wasn't realistic. I think that, Biden was feeling himself. Biden, you got to remember, Biden has spent his whole life in politics. He spent his whole life in politics. Was he really going to get in that office and really just do one term and just, hand it off? You got to think, in politics, you have people who have been sitting in their positions for decades. Look at Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi. People by and large that we know should not be in their respective positions. People by and large that we know should be off doing something else. Go sit down somewhere else and give the next generation a chance to come up. That's not the tradition of United States politics for you to hand it off to another generation. That's not the tradition. You do your 2 terms and then you hand it off. So, to think that Biden was going to do 1 term and just hand it off to Kamala, that wasn't realistic in my opinion. Because we don't see that in politics. It also says, I think his running again broke the concept. All right, they kind of going in here. But let me know what you guys think. What possibly may have been the reason why Joe Biden feels this way. I mean, me personally, I feel very I don't feel that Joe realizes why people didn't vote for him. I still think that he's a little bit, inconsistent. He's still a little incoherent. Maybe we should go into some reasons why people didn't vote for him. How about this? What about this? Could this be a reason, Joe Biden? Respectfully, Joe Biden. Could what I'm about to play be a reason why people wasn't going to vote for you? Could this be the reason? Let's play this video. Let's play it. Here we see Joe Biden going up the stairs, walking up, falling. Maybe this is the reason why people wasn't trying to vote for him. Joe Biden, maybe people wasn't trying to vote for you because you was having trouble with the stairs. You was having issue with the stairs. You was fighting those stairs. Those old hammer feet in them staircases were not working together. They were not doing a bipartnership. I think that this may be a small reason why people didn't vote for you. Going up the stairs. Look, going up the stairs. Continue. Falling again.
He touched down not even 4 hours ago.
That was a quick trip, but as you said, very impactful.
Here go another one. Look, slipping and falling. falling over people.
He has allocated to invest in police departments and training of police officers. It appears as though the president did have a slight trip there as he's boarding Air Force One.
He's constantly slipping. He's constantly falling. I think that, people aren't, really looking at that and saying, this may be a reason why people felt like, they didn't feel like voting for him. Jessica says, you will be old someday. I agree. And Jessica, I'm not trolling Joe Biden because of his age. This has nothing to do, I know I'm here saying this, but this has nothing to do with his age. This is not personal. I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that people in the United States felt, a lot of people, this is what I'm generalizing. Remember, I'm generalizing why people are saying, I'm saying that this has nothing to do with race, not race, but age from me, right? I'm not trolling him, but I'm not personally trolling him because of his age. I'm giving you a general reason why people didn't vote for him, Jessica. I think that people didn't vote for Joe Biden because they felt that he was incoherent. They felt that, Joe Biden really should be off somewhere. He should be in an old folks home. He should be somewhere where Jill Biden could take care of him. He does not belong as commander in chief. That's what I'm trying to say here. This is not me trolling him about his age. Joe Biden. Listen, man, I'm not here to troll the elderly people. This is more so why people, because people seen these videos. Remember, Jessica, people were watching these videos and they were saying like, yo, the election season is coming up. All of these videos that I'm showing are predating election night. So you don't think that any of these videos of him falling and him being incoherent, you don't think that any of this played into the consciousness of the people voting? People remembered these videos. People remembered all of these times, and they said, I can't vote for this dude. I can't vote for this dude.
No matter
falling off the bike.
what their cost, 2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on them. That's black. Anyway.
Slipping and fall. Listen, man, and I'm not here to knock him. To knock an old person for slipping and falling at their age. I think that, that's kind of low. But this is what I'm here to I'm trying to tell you why. I'm trying to have you guys understand why. See, a lot of y'all just don't want to talk. I don't want to tell the truth. You want to make people feel good about themselves. You want to hide the truth. You want to, in a way, coddle them. I want to tell you guys the truth. These videos were going viral. Everything that I'm playing was going viral, predating the election night. All of these videos, people were watching them. And they were thinking, Joe Biden can't run the country. He can't even figure out the stairs. For me to sit up here and say, old people, and to disrespect them for not, knowing how to use the stair. I think that's kind of low. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say that a younger generation, people just younger people were looking at these videos and saying, this is probably not somebody that we want to run the country. This is somebody that probably needs to be in an old folks home. This is somebody that probably needs a caretaker. This is somebody that probably needs to sit down somewhere, let a younger generation come and take the reins. This is not somebody that should be running the country. You got to remember, there's a vast difference between how Trump carries himself and how Biden carries himself. Trump carries himself as an older man with energy, an older man that's quick-paced, quick-witted, fast-witted. Joe Biden doesn't move like that. You know, I think it was time. Jessica says, you're a Trumpy. Anyway, you did PR work for him while acting as a neutral guy. Jessica, what are you talking about? Jessica says, I'm a Trumper. I've never been a Trumper in my life. I've never been a Trumper in my life, Jessica. I would never vote for Trump. It's like, let me tell y'all why I would never vote for Trump. Right? I would never vote for Trump for 100 reasons. One reason, by and large, is he supports qualified immunity. As a black man, I could never support him in terms of qualified immunity. You know, I could never support him because of that. You know, qualified immunity is not something that I want. So, you know, listen, man, I wasn't rooting for neither. I wasn't rooting for Trump. I wasn't rooting for Kamala. I wasn't rooting for neither. Neither one of them support any of the beliefs that I believe in. Any one of them have talked about things that I was big on. So, you know, I'm not a Trump guy or a Kamala guy. You know, I am by and large still in the neutral. Jessica, I think that I don't think that you realize that my issue is not with Joe Biden. My issue is not with Kamala. My issue is not with neither one of them. My issue is with the Democratic Party. That's what my issue lines with. Fire! I don't have an issue with Joe Biden. I don't have an issue with Kamala. My issue is with the Democratic Party at large. That's where my issue lines with, but I am neutral. I am very much neutral. But I very much am very critical of the Democratic Party. The reason I'm very critical of the Democratic Party is because black people have been voting for the Democratic Party for over 50 years. And we have nothing to show for it. So that's where my criticism comes from. It doesn't come from me trying to be a pseudo Trump guy or me acting like I'm in the neutral, but I'm really Trump. You're misunderstanding me totally. You know, and I think that you have a very liberal mindset. You think that just because somebody criticizes the Democrats, you think that just because somebody criticizes that means that they're a Trump supporter. No. There are people that are critical of the Democratic Party because we don't like what we see. Respectfully. Let's get back into it, though. He took I never saw this one. I ain't gonna lie. I never saw when he slipped and fell at the baseball game. I never saw that one. Wow.
Joe Biden wants
you got to remember, y'all, this is the commander-in-chief.
to run again when he can barely walk. Sad, really. Anyway, that's it for now. Follow me on.
Now, listen. Like I said, I'm going to shoot a little bit of bell. Just a little bit of bell. And you know, just a little bit of respect and bell to Joe Biden. Like, you got to realize, you know, he's an older man. You know, listen, you know, falling down the stairs at his age, I mean, listen, he's older. So I don't really knock him for that. I don't really kick in his back for that. But you have to realize that there are younger Americans that, you know, are looking at this, and they're saying, you know, this is supposed to be the next commander-in-chief. This is supposed to be the man that's going to lead us. This is supposed to be the man that's going to be running the country. And when they look at stuff like that, they're not trying to hear that. You need to be a little bit more able-bodied. You need to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings. So, you know, me as a man in his 30s, I look at that and I feel like, dang, yo, like ain't nobody there to help Joe Biden with the stairs. Yeah, that's how I look at it. But, you know, for younger Americans, I can see them looking at this and feeling like, I don't know if I want to vote for this person. You know? And then we have to get into the debate. Let's get into the debate. You know, the debate is another reason why a lot of people felt like, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I'm not voting for him. This is another reason why a lot of people felt like they were never going to vote for him.
Joe Biden.
Folks, how are you?
Some of the key moments of the debate. He made a fool out of himself in this debate.
And please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I.
He lost absolute focus when he went into that diatribe. He just started going into some type of rant. See, these are the reasons why a lot of you liberals and Kamala supporters and Democrats, a lot of y'all saw this and you guys cringed. And you thought that when Kamala got in there that it was going to fix everything. But you have to realize that this is the man who has been running the country for the last 4 years. This is the man who has been running the country for the last 4 years. Kamala can't fix this. This is more. It's going to take more than a Band-Aid. This is going to take more than just a small little Flintstone Band-Aid. This is a hard, deep flesh wound. This is the man who's been running the country. He's incoherent. He has no focus. He doesn't know where he's at. And I'm not trying to disrespect Joe Biden in this. I'm not trying to be an ageist. But these are the things that young Americans were looking at. And I'm talking about young Americans that are not, they dye their hair the same color as a cock. Tree huggers. Pronoun users. I'm talking about just regular heterosexual young Americans. They were looking at this and they were saying, yo, this is not where I want the country to go. Fire! 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 You know? And I'm trying to show y'all, he's saying that if he would have stayed in the race, it would have been better for him. How? I don't see like you got to remember when this debate happened. This was like a bomb. Like I don't think that people realize when this debate came out, there were more questions to be had. Like, you know, how the debate went was like secondary. People were asking more intimate questions like, Is Joe Biden capable of running this country? Is this the type of leadership that has been running? Is Joe Biden capable of being able to run this country and go into the foreign policy and things of that nature? People had real questions about where this country was headed. This was a bad look for the Democrats, and when this debate dropped, that's when Nancy Pelosi started the coup. That's when she said, "Oh, let's try to get Kamala in there. Try to get Kamala in there." You know, so I think that a lot of Democrats don't realize how bad this debate was. This debate was bad. It wasn't, and another thing about this debate, it wasn't that Trump did so well in this debate. It was the fact that Biden did so bad. Biden did so bad in this debate, it made Trump look good. I ain't gonna lie. I think that this debate probably won the presidential election for Trump. I'm not gonna lie. Fire! 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 This debate alone probably won the election for Trump. I'm not gonna lie. Let's continue.
Solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare,
It's almost like he was like reaching for the words, but he couldn't find
to
it.
the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me.
Hold on. Salute to blah Bart. Salute to blah barf. Salute to blah barf with the $10 donation. Salute to you, sir. Salute to blah barf for the $10 donation. He says voting for both is like not voting at all because they couldn't separate themselves from each other. I agree. You know, voting for both is like not voting at all. I agree. You know, if you were in the neutral, if you could even say if you voted for an independent, it kind of essentially was like not voting at all. I agree with you, blah blah. I agree with you on that point. I think that by and large, if you rooted for both of these individuals or these two entities, I mean, someone has to lose, someone has to win. I think that America, if I'm being honest, I think that America made the wiser choice, and the reason why America made the wiser choice, in my opinion, is because they saw how the country was being ran. Listen, if Joe Biden was running the country and the economy was doing well, if the foreign policies were doing well, I truly believe Joe Biden would have won this race. If the economy was doing well, follow me. If the economy was doing well, and if we were doing well in terms of foreign policy via Palestine, via the Ukraine war, if all of those things fell in place, I think you would have seen Joe Biden win a second term. But it was the fact that the economy was doing bad. It was the fact that, all of these things, the economy's doing bad foreign policy. All of the wars against men, men and women's sports and all this weird stuff going on. It was just too much for the Democratic Party to overwhelm. And, I think another reason why the Democrats lost is they've been tone deaf. They don't represent the common man. There was a point where the Democrats represented the common man. They are far along they're very far along from representing the everyday man. They don't represent the everyday man, in my opinion. They represent a very small minority. They represent a very small minority. Jessica says, good night, MACA people. Have a great night. I have no time to waste. Jessica, where you going? Where you going, Jessica? Where you going? Talk to these MAGA supporters. These are your countrymen. These are the people, listen, these are your firemen, your policemen, your doctors, your lawyers. These are the people of your country. Why? Let me ask y'all this. Why are we so divided? Why are we so divided as a country? Democrats, why are we so divided? Just because people support Trump, people rock with Trump. And listen, I'm not a Trump supporter. I already told y'all I'm not a Trump supporter. But I mean, y'all don't think at some point that we should root for Donald Trump to run this country with some respect and sophistication? Y'all don't think at some point we should root for America? He's running the country. We shouldn't root for America? I mean, I really feel like a lot of Democrats and liberals have this anarchist spirit when it comes to Donald Trump. Listen, Democrats, liberals, get over it. Donald Trump will be your next president come January 20th. A lot of you Democrats and liberals, you got this anarchist spirit where you want Trump to do bad, or you're like hating on Trump so bad. Like, get over it. Trump will be your next president. I think it makes more sense for you to root for him. I think it makes more sense for you to back him. I think it makes more sense for you to support him than to be against him at this point. Yeah, a lot of you liberals and Democrats, y'all got this like anarchist spirit. Like, bro, get over it. You lost. Election night is over. Get over it. Let's move forward. Let's root for Donald Trump. Hopefully he does a great job. And listen, you guys will have another chance at, another 4 years. Get over it. Stop hating on Trump. Stop wishing he does bad. I even seen I wish I could pull it up. Somebody online was talking about how because Donald Trump made a remark that how he wanted to buy Greenland, and Greenland responded back to him and Denmark owns Greenland, and it was like, nah, Trump, we want to buy United States, because they was trying to jab at Trump or whatever. And a lot of people were like, yeah, Denmark, buy us. Where are we at in America? Where is the patriotism where you want Denmark to buy you? Not? Where are we at as a country? Where's the patriotism? A lot of you liberals and Democrats, a lot of y'all got this anarchist spirit because things didn't go your way. Just wanted to say that. Let's get back into it.
He said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none.
This whole back and forth about the golf, this was ridiculous.
I'd like to see him take one, just one. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap.
Who do y'all think would win in a golf match between Trump and Joe Biden? Who y'all got winning that one? Somebody says, "Ill the poll." No, the poll is just asking people who would have done a better job. Would Biden done a better job? Would Kamala have done a better job? Let me ask this with the poll, right? Let me ask this: who would have done a better job given the time and the space? Because they keep saying that Kamala didn't have the time; she only had 90 days. If Kamala had more time to prepare, and Joe Biden would have announced that he's going to step down earlier. Do you think if Kamala would have had more time, she would have done better? Do you think that if Joe Biden would have ran his race, he would have done better? Who do you think would have done better, essentially? Let me know.
Vice President down to 6. Yeah? And by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. The crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him.
Now, I will agree with Trump on this. And that's another thing that a lot of liberals and Democrats, they're not being honest about it. The Biden administration has done a poor job with foreign policy. Can we just talk about it finally? Because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Before Trump got in office, we all remember this. Before Trump got in office the first time, right? All of the Democrats and liberals were talking about how Trump was going to do a piss poor job in terms of foreign policy. They said that he's going to get us into a war. He's going to have issues with this country, that country. They all turned out to be liars. Biden is terrible in terms of foreign policy. I mean, from the Ukraine war to what's going on in Palestine, tensions with China, tensions with Russia. Biden, in all reality, was bad for foreign policy more than Trump. Ain't none of this stuff was going on with Trump. We didn't have Russia invading Ukraine when Trump was in office. We didn't have that. We didn't have the Palestine at the level that it is right now. We didn't have that going on at that point in time. We didn't have the attack. So in by and large, if we're going to be honest, Biden was bad for foreign policy. If we just keep it in a buck, we just keep it at 100. He was bad for business. Let's just keep it real. Let's be honest here. But see, Democrats don't want to tell the truth on that. They don't want to tell the truth on that. He was bad for business on that.
They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO.
The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have.
Let me get the full debate. Because I feel like there's a couple of pieces that I feel like are missing. Biden full. Cause I feel like there's some joints missing. Cause I feel like there was a couple of spots where I was like, yo, where's the? I need the full debate. Let's get the full joint. Cause there's some joints that I feel like they missed on this one. You know, here we got a Rewind 10 commercial. You got this. Hold on. You got this fat slob, Fat Joe. Just want to let y'all know, just before we get into the full debate, I just want to let y'all know, do not support Fat Joe. Do not support Fat Joe. Fat Joe is a racist. He has yet to apologize to the foundational Black American community, which I am a part of. Do not support Fat Joe. Do not support any of his products. I have been reaching out to his sponsors. Do not support. This is a Rewind 10 commercial. Just want to throw y'all out. He's been putting commercials on all of my videos now, right? I've been watching that. Let's continue, though. Because I want to see this debate. But I just want to let y'all know about Mr. Fat Joe.
As their party's presumptive
better known as Fat Ho. Let's get into it.
Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out a position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done. There's more to be done.
Even in like Biden's voice, I don't hear. And I don't know if I think he had a cold around this time. I do remember hearing that. I think they said that Biden was dealing with some type of sickness at that point. He had some type of cold or pneumonia or flu or whatever at that point in time. But even in his voice, now, remember, impressions is everything. When somebody, when you're running for a job, the impression of however you sound, however you hold yourself, all of this is indicative of if you're going to get the job or not. I think that in my opinion, I feel like, he didn't do a good job showing America that I'm strong, I'm confident, I'm ready to work. He didn't convey the message. I don't hear it in his voice. I don't hear the conviction in his voice. I don't hear the strength. I don't hear the confidence. I don't hear it.
Most people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come of a household where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. The price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of...
Sinclair says we need term limits. Do you mean like in the House? Like, do you mean like in the House and the Senate and stuff like that? Do you mean like that? Or do you mean in the presidency? Do you feel like we need term limits in the House or the House and the Senate? I ain't gonna lie. I think we need term limits in all factors, in all sectors. Excuse me, especially in the Supreme Court. There should be term limits in the Supreme Court. There should also be, definitely like guys like Mitch McConnell. What's that black woman? What's that black woman in Congress? I forget her name. The black woman in Congress. What's her name? Sinclair. What's her name? Let's see if I can look it up. Black woman in Congress. Is it one of these women right here? They're not giving me names. They're not giving me names. I know names. They show me. Yeah, there she go. Shirley Chisholm. Somebody like Shirley Chisholm. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Seriously. Like, come on. Come on. What is Shirley Chisholm doing today? Like, honestly, is she making an impact? Is she like? It's certain people, and listen, this is not about me going in on a black woman, because I just mentioned Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell should not be in that. He should not be in there. Mitch McConnell is too damn old. He needs to go sit down somewhere. He needs to be somewhere with a caretaker. But you have people in these positions that they don't want to leave. It's time to go. Maxine Waters. That's who I was looking for. Yeah, Maxine Waters. Let me look her up. Maxine Waters. There she go. Maxine Waters. Yeah, like, these people need to go. Respectfully, like what are they what are they doing currently? What are they doing currently? I can't tell you. These people need to go. Realistically, I feel, this is how I feel. They need to open up the doors for the next generations. Why isn't Maxine Waters opening up the door for the next young black girl, the next young black girl that's 35, or the next young black girl that can take that position and have a more up to date, a political stance? Like I said, it has nothing to do with black or white. I mentioned Mitch. Let's type in Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell needs to go. Mitch McConnell needs to go. Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell. How you spell that? How you spell that man's name? Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell needs to go. He needs to. Mitch McConnell needs to be somewhere being taken care of by his caretakers. He don't need to be. He don't need to be in politics no more. Like, realistically, some of these people just need to go off onto pasture. Listen, we respect your service to the country. Go off and, open up the doors for the next generation. Respectfully, no disrespect. It's time for a lot of these, people to get out of politics and go off and do your own thing. Respectfully. Let's get back into it, though.
A whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over.
I don't think nobody believed Biden just by the way he was going off into this whole diatribe. I don't think nobody believed him. I don't believe him. Nothing he's saying. I don't believe nothing he's saying. Absolutely nothing. I don't believe it.
The combination what I was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all by the time he left.
Biden, what did you do? I tell you what you did. You flooded the country with millions of immigrants. I tell you what you did. You ruined the economy. You're saying Trump didn't do much at all. What did you do, Biden? Because I can't think of a lot of great things that you did.
After things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people.
People are still struggling with buying prescription drugs, Joe Biden.
$15 for a insulin shot.
Well, you saved people an extra $2 on a $400 medication. Okay.
DC would have to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. And the situation is...
G. Frank says, ruin the economy? Yes. Joe Biden ruined the economy. Would you care for me to break it down? He ruined the economy. Do you care for me to break it down? I'll break it down. We got time. I'll break it down. You want to break it down, G. Franks? We can break it down if you want. He ruined the economy. That doesn't mean that it can't be fixed. That doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that he's not working now to try to fix it. But at a point in time, yes, he did ruin the economy. It was bad for business. Inflation was out of control. The price of eggs, the price of milk, the price of bread, out of control. The price of gas, out of control. Young adults ready to get married, ready to start families, can't buy a home. The housing market, out of control.
And we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. President Trump?
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than
what about the mandates? Are we gonna hold Biden accountable for the mandates?
You don't find that suspicious?
The mandates. G. Frank says inflation is back under 2%. I hate to break it to you, G. Franks, but it takes a while for inflation to impact the grocery stores, the markets. It's not like inflation goes down and then it just directly affects the markets and the grocery stores on day one. No, it takes time for these things to go down. So people are still feeling the weight of the inflation. People are still feeling the weight of how poorly Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ran this country. That's the fact. I mean, I know you hate for me to give Donald Trump a bone, but I mean, I have to throw him this bone. The Joe Biden economy at its peak was bad for America. Economy-wise. And I know you hate for people to admit that. You wanna G Franks, you wanna look at the last remaining days Joe Biden has in office. You don't want to look at when it was prime time, when he had 2 more years on the clock, when he had 1 more year on the clock running the country. You want to look at the last few days, him trying to scrummage trying to scrummage whatever he can to fix the legacy of his presidency. When his presidency was in high gear, when his presidency was at its peak, it was bad for the economy. I'm sorry to break that to you, G Franks, but that's a fact. You're looking at the last couple of days he got in office and telling me, oh, inflation is better now. Inflation is back. It's 2%, yada, yada, yada. What about when his presidency was at its peak? It was bad for the economy. Get back into it.
So now we had a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce-back jobs, a bounce-back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Salute to G Franks. Now he's talking about the corporations gouging. Now it's the corporations' fault. See, that's what Kamala tried to do. Oh, let's blame the corporation. It's the healthcare. It's the healthcare. It's their fault. It's the food industry. It's the grocery stores. It's their fault. It's the insurance companies. It's their fault. But what about the people printing the damn money? The damn government. Let's be real. When the government runs out of money, what do? They just print more. So they pointing fingers. Kamala tried to point fingers at and that's another thing that a lot of people noticed. A lot of people notice how the stereotype with women not taking accountability. So I think that she was a bad figurehead for that, because there's a stereotype with women, like women don't take accountability. So for her to be the figurehead of the Democratic ticket and not taking any accountability for how the economy went, I mean, I think that was a bad look for the Democrats. But by and large, listen, they did a bad job with the economy. To look at the last remaining days of the Biden administration and say, oh, well, things are better now, but things weren't better at the peak of his presidency. When Biden had 2 more years on his presidential term, things were not looking good for the economy. People don't forget that. People don't forget how it was going into them grocery stores and the price of milk and eggs and just the standard of living was relatively high. People don't forget that. Do you want another 4 years of that or not? That's how people rationalize when they got into that election booth. Do you want another 4 years of that or not? Let's continue.
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world, he's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And, the fact of the matter is that we found ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's had lost.
Hold on, y'all. I need y'all to hit that like button. I see the like is going from 20 back to 19, back to 20, back to 19. I need y'all to hit that damn like button right now. Not now, but right now. I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Let's get into it.
More jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant. And the military, you know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where...
G. Franks, I agree with you. I don't think that Trump has a plan. I don't think he has a concrete plan. Remember, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't think that Trump has a concrete plan to fix this, that. But you have to admit, G. Franks, admit this. Will you be honorable enough to at least admit this, G. Franks? Admit this. To look at the people who created the problem, expecting them to fix it, would that not be crazy, G. Franks? Would you at least admit that? Looking at Biden, Kamala Harris, the people who essentially created the problem, to look at them and think that they are going to fix the problem, would that not be crazy for them to think that? I just want you to see things the Trump supporter way. See things the Trump supporter way. I'm not a Trump supporter, but just look at things their way for 1 second. To look at Joe Biden and look at Kamala, the people who are responsible for the issues and the problems and the things and the economy going the way it did, to look at them and say, well, things are going to change because they're going to go back in office. Would it not be crazy to think that? So if you're telling me, you know, what you're saying is right. Do I think that Trump has a concrete plan in place to fix things? No. But I mean, to think that somebody who created a problem is going to fix it, that would be kind of crazy, in my opinion, to put that person back in office, in my opinion.
You had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have any this decade.
See, G. Franks says they did not create the problem. That's where you lose me. G. Franks, they did create the problem. Do you know why they created it? Do you want to talk about why they created the problem? Do you want to know why they created the problem? Inflation was good before Biden took the reins. We had no inflation in this country before Biden got in office. We didn't have millions of immigrants flooding into this country before Biden got in office. I'm not going to say we didn't have no immigrants, but we had less immigrants flooding into this country before Biden. And of course, when it comes to inflation, that's a whole nother thing right there. When Biden got in office, it was just bad for business. Can we just all agree that was bad for business? Trump handed over the country to Biden, and inflation went out of control. Can we at least agree to that? He got in office, and at least inflation went out of control. Can we at least agree to that?
Any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
Am I allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just
Hold on,
those
y'all.
countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce-back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. Now, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt, while so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job.
He did do a poor job. Can we admit he did a poor job? Can we admit it?
You don't find that suspicious?
Can we admit that Joe Biden did a poor job? Can we just admit it? Admit it. He did a poor job. A bad one. Let's be real here. Let's just be real.
And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country. And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions.
That's a good ass question. Let me say that one more time. That is a good ass question. Why did you allow all of these people from these countries to come into our country and essentially just let them roam in this country? Why did you allow it? Why did you allow it to happen, Joe Biden? That's a good ass question. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That's a good ass question. That's a good ass question, y'all.
To come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do.
Let me know in the poll who would have done better, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Who would have? Excuse me, my fault, y'all. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Who would have done better? If Joe Biden would have stayed in the race, if Kamala would have done a better job, maybe had more time. I want y'all to think about that in terms of Kamala. give me 1 second, y'all. I want y'all to think about that in terms of Kamala. Would Kamala have done better if she would have had more time? You know, she only had 90 days to prepare for the presidency. We hear that all the time. If Kamala would have had, let's give Kamala more than 90 days. Let's give her 130 days. Let's give her, just an appropriate time to run for office. Even do a primary. Maybe, she never did a primary. Do you guys think that Kamala would have had a better chance? Maybe she would have did more interviews. Maybe sit down with Joe Rogan. Sit down with more people. Would Kamala have done better? Would Joe Biden have done better? I want to know. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about that. Would Joe Biden have done better? Would Kamala have done better? Who do you think would have done better? Because I would love to know.
Gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate.
Somebody just said Bernie would have won. That old coot. I don't think Bernie would have stand a chance against Don. I don't think Bernie would have stand a chance against Donald Trump. I don't think he would have stand a chance. I don't think there's no Democrat right now that could have stood a chance against Donald Trump. I really don't believe so. I don't think so. I think that the Democrats have done such a poor job talking to the everyday American. They've done such a poor job. They focused on they focus on things that just the everyday man. Like, you got to think, the everyday man in America, they just want to provide for their families. They want a good paying job, a pat on the back, a cold brew, and they want their wife to throw it back on them. That's all they want. That's all blue collar men want. All blue collar, tax paying, heterosexual men who are the backbone of this country, mind you. They just want a good paying job, a pat on the back, a cold brew, their wife to throw it back on them. So they want. But see, the Democrats, they're not prioritizing that. They're prioritizing niggas with, their hair dyed the same color as a cock. They're prioritizing, suspect Transformer niggas, Optimus Prime, Decepticon. They're not empowering the real ones. They're not empowering the people that run the country, the people that are the backbones of the country, the people that keep the thing, the people that are on top of the roofs doing that roofing, the people that are the construction workers laying down that masonry work, the police officers, the firemen, the people, the backbone of this. They wasn't empowering them. You were empowering the zesty festies. Niggas with their hair that's dyed the same color as a cock. You up in the party with your hair dyed the same color as a cock. Not a chicken, but a cock. Come on, fam. Let's get back. I'm turned off to 211 tonight. Let's get back into it.
On the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions.
That's a good-ass country. Have any of y'all been paying attention to what's going on in New York? Has anybody been paying attention on what's going on in New York? A woman set on fire in New York City in the subway. Have any of y'all been paying attention? An immigrant set a woman on fire in New York City. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that they don't send this person back. I hope that they don't let this person get bond. I hope that they don't let this person get free. I want this person doing time in Guantanamo Bay. That's a fact. The person that did that to that woman in the New York subway, I want them doing time in Guantanamo Bay. I mean, like, you got to think, New York went from a place for people to go, tourists. It went from a place to be, from a place that people are now saying, you would really live there? Ew. You would really go to New York? New York is no longer the place to be, y'all. Hate to break it to y'all.
Institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two.
I need y'all to hit that like button. And, he's talking about the national debt. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Every president has added to the national debt. George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Biden. Every president has added to the national debt. So, listen, if he had the highest, whatever, all of you guys have added. Nobody has leveled it. Nobody has fixed it. Nobody has paid anything back. You guys ain't fixing the national debt. You guys have added to the. All of you guys are guilty of adding to the national debt. When are we gonna get a president that fixes the national debt, levels the national debt, pays it back, pays it forward? Ain't none of these niggas did anything to fix the national debt. So I mean, him to bring that up is like, come on.
That $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to support.
Give me 1 second, Charles. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have
access
to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And
talk about it,
did
Trump.
is I
Talk
put
about
three
it.
Great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought.
like
Kansas, I would say the same
I agree
thing.
with Trump on this.
Texas
I
is
agree with him.
different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now.
Yeah, make your own decisions. I agree with that.
Works great, but he doesn't work like Wealthfront.
Like Ronald
Hold on,
Reagan
y'all.
Keeps your investments working.
Exceptions. I am a person.
My
that
fault,
believes.
y'all. I got y'all.
And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also, and because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, "We'll put the baby."
Sinclair says, hold on. I did see this. Sinclair says, excuse me. Sinclair says the guy who burnt that lady was deported in 2018. Yet he was back in the United States again. That's a fact. And see, that's these programs that these liberals have in place. They let these people get deported, then they come on back, and then things like that happen. You know. The Democrats need to be held responsible for that type of stuff. Right? It should have never happened.
Baby aside,
you know,
and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they were all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters by it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was babbling. I ain't gonna hold you.
By the same people he allows to come across our border.
It's a fact.
We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. Consider the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which, frankly, they didn't. But they would have. Everybody wanted it brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of
Trump
the people,
had to do it.
and
Trump
that's
had
why
to
they
do
wanted
it.
Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Trump had to do it.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
We can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
You don't find that suspicious?
Hold on, y'all. New poll. Let me know what you think in the new poll. Your favorite Joe Biden poll. Let me know your favorite Joe Biden poll. Your favorite Joe Biden phrase. We got "come on, man" in there. We got "period" in there. And we got "you not black unless you vote for Joe." Your favorite Joe Biden phrase. Let me know in the chat. Your favorite Joe Biden phrase.
Legally cross the southern border on your walk. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers, significantly By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border legally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
I don't know what he said neither. I don't know what he said neither, Trump. I agree. What did he say? What is he talking about? I'm confused. What does this nigga talk about?
I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in caravans.
President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in his administration, killed three American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There is no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm going to call cap on that. I don't think Trump is going to carry out none of that. I'm calling cap on that. Let's continue, though.
Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen before. And you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taking place.
Listen, guys, I got to get out of here. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I got to get out of here. Yeah, listen. Biden, I don't think Biden would have had a better chance running the election. Just to wrap this up, I don't think Biden would have had a better chance at the election. I think that the Democratic Party was just in trouble. They looked to the wrong person to bail them out, Kamala Harris. I mean, and they ran a piss poor campaign. I mean, I think that's what it is in a nutshell. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat before we get out of here, because I got to grab something. I'm going to call it a night, man. I did a couple videos, and look at the chat real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. You know, at the end of the day, I just feel like the Democrats ran a piss poor campaign. You guys ran a piss poor campaign, you know? It wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that the Republicans were just so great. It was just that the Democrats were just so bad. You guys did a bad job. You did a poor job. I hate to break it to you, but you did a poor job. You know? The best Joe Biden phrase. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, man. Well, listen, I gotta get out. I gotta get out of here. I want to salute Sinclair. Salute Sinclair for holding me down tonight. Salute to all the mods. Salute to everybody for coming through tonight. I just want to talk about Joe Biden feeling regret for not continuing the presidential race. I want y'all guys to have a good night. Have a productive weekend. Y'all guys have a good night, man. I'm a little tired. I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta get out of here as well. But y'all guys have a productive week. And I'll see you guys in another video. God willing, I'll see you guys in another video, another live stream. We are out. Toodles, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Fire! 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 Fire!
I think I'm gonna do something different tonight. Hold on. I'm gonna play y'all off with a song, because I haven't done that in a while. I want to play y'all off with a song, man. Play off with a song. It's been a while. Let me see. I want to play. Let me play this. Play y'all off with a song, man. We're gonna ride out to a song tonight. Hold on. You know, shout out to Drew. We're gonna ride out with a song tonight. Well, we're gonna at least try to. Hopefully it'll play. Only one. Me and Jew. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only Macaroni. Let's go.
To the morning sun, tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? Shut up the trees, she stay with the streets. I heard they lead, I wanna know. I'm smoking the woods, she all I know is I'm rocking the mix. She told me how it feels, she know what it is. I come in the vet, I come for respect. I come for your neck, you know what it is. I'm smoking the weed, that's side with D. She on her knees, she just on the police. She know what it is, she from the hood. Bad was, I'm all in the car, popping a bra. She smoking the weed and drinking Douce. Shawty wanna pull up, Shawty wanna pull up. She not a bimbo when she ride on 4 Giados, and she know she dropped the bottle. Oh, she tryna pull up. Oh, she tryna pull up. Oh, she tryna pull up. Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one?
Riding around my side of town, girl, you know it's going down. You crazy. You just like to drive the boat, get dope, and stay wavy. You a fucking trees. You a fucking trees. You a for the street. Killer shot, she busted up like Selena. Ass bitch, she looking like she Trina. She ain't no contender, she only a beginner. Dirty nigga from Granada, little bitch don't get nada. Bitch be rockin' Prada, only eat McDonald's. You crazy, you crazy, you crazy. You a Big Mac thing, you fucking lazy. You don't faze me, you fucking crazy. You ain't the only one, you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, you ain't the only one.
Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? She's wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one?
We're gonna do one more song. Hold on. One more song, yo. One more song. If you guys are in here, hold on. We're gonna do one more song. One more song. One more song. Hold on. Let's do this. One more song. One more song. If you're in here. If you're not, then you're not. But if you're in here, we're gonna do one more song.
She know what it is. She know what it is. Shawty be jacking the love train. She know what it is. Love strain. She know what it is. She shawty be puffing the love strain. She know what it is. She shawty be riding the love train. She packing the kids. She shawty analysis. She in love with the drugs and the honesty. We fall into love platonically and fall back in love periodically. She shawty be jacking the love strain. She know what it is. She shawty be puffing the love strain. She know what it is. She shawty analysis. She in love with the drugs and the honesty. We fall into love platonically. We fall back in love periodically. She puffing the love pack. Pumping the pounds. Rolling hoes away to love her now. Baby girl, just hit me back. All up on my fucking jack. I'ma hit it from the back. I'ma pull up to the telly, though. Tryna pull up, baby, throw it in your belly, though. I'll thug you out, something Machiavelli, though. Out up in the hood, though. Smoking backwoods, though. Switch it sweet, I'm good, though. Baby, know what it is. Font Ride up in the sports car, baby, you know what it is. Riding in infinities, baby, we can go from the moon to infinity. She rolling up, baby girl looking good, and she Colombian, all of my crew. Time tell me, baby, you tryna lay up with me, and you know you looking crazy, laying in Mercedes. She shawty be puffing the love strain, she know what it is. She shawty be riding the love train, she packing the kids. She shawty in houses, she in love with the drugs and the honesty. We fall out of love platonically and fall back in love periodically. She shawty be jacking the love strain, she know what it is. She shawty be puffing the love strain, she know what it is. She shawty in houses, she in love with the drugs and the honesty. We fall out of love platonically, we fall back in love periodically.
One more song. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. We're gonna do one more joint. One more joint. I see niggas in here. We'll do one more joint, man. I ain't in a rush to go nowhere. Let's go. One more joint tonight. You know what I mean? Chilling. Let's go.
I'm looking right, baby. She wanna think I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the oldest wobble wobble. Just thought he's fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. Finish the bottle when I hope then she a model. She in the mirror like a Showtime, the Apollo. Catch up the phone, now I pull up in the Tahoe. Thought it's boring, I ain't calling unless she swallow. She don't listen, I ain't tripping, she don't follow. Got another wetty swerving on her potholes. Got another thought, he thinks she hit the lotto. She pop a perky, then she chase it with Moscato. This bitch is bad, she fucking all the drug dealers. I took his bitch and then I took his plug, nigga. Have her back, I'm getting to the bag, nigga. Bust in your house, I'm running through your stash, nigga. On the grand flash, I know that cash, nigga. Part in my back, I'm counting all these stacks, nigga. Gucci duffel Louis on my ass, nigga. Hennessy and TNT, we blast, nigga. Ferragamo on my chest, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna think I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the oldest wobble wobble. Just thought he fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. This whole insect, she fucking on the damn crew. Coming out of sock, she lost her damn shoe. Her friend a poppin', she ain't got no damn clue. Rollin' O's and weed and smoking bamboo. Smoking gelato when the Tahoe smell the fucking jar. She wanna ride with me cause we look like some movie stars. The Stoddy moving faster than a speeding car. Coming through the door with no panties on. Poppin' Molly's and you know she took a Zanny bar. Talking about a Mazda is a family car. I hit her with a curve, then the coup de grace. Zillow games, I'm shaking up the dice, baby. She wanna stay with me so we can make the night, baby. She wanna be with me so I can lay the pipe, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. Ferragamo on my chest, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna think I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the oldest wobble wobble. Just thought he fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African swing, he spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby.
Listen, y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a good night, man. Toodles.